Bajel na sa pegu coronavirus su nekkee jëlaaguloo ko kon fexeel nga dem jëli ko tardewul.
Get vaccinated to out from getting.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Komin aliyalo nyamin doru ka fanyela ko Sheikh Yakuba Khalifa Haidar mbesiring Atlanta jang na komin ngafa na diyabo ko nyamin vaccination nyinte nga atale alhamdulillahi nakafunyo jama beje me alon ko alimamu le mulu fanan be atale oto kammala ni ite ya taylaftira mantole ila umma e kayrola tumando bata itandila ko ntele bi ngata de mankole ya kusoto je oto nyimu wasiyoti momo yedan kene ala la drong ya ta katun ala ko idha azamu fatawakkal ala Allah ko kuba kaletu ko ala la drong nyimu sababu le tudo menka mojara bari ngabula sababu no madron tumando ala la mako yoro kan ala be mako yelale.
Due to the time of media, but as far as the media is the most important thing, because the information will be sent to the public. We were expecting our guests, but some are taking excuses of the way. Some also using excuses of the traffic, but it's okay. As far as my seniors are here, today I'm seeing seniors and I will look for juniors or seniors and seniors from the meeting. So I will thank you very much for all of you to that information regarding this issue. Today I will be the moderator of this press conference. It is a very important conference regarding this issue. And I say in the beginning of this, everyone is given a guideline. It's just going to be a short press conference. We are not going to keep you people waiting for so long. In the beginning, I will start to say that as we are all believers from different faiths, we can have a 1 minute silent prayers in the way that we want it. As far as we have Muslims and Christians in the Gambia and other faiths as well. 1 minute silence, opening prayers. Thank you very much, Army. And to introduce the high table, at my left is Mr. Lamin Ba, is the president of the Continental Africa. He's a registered company in the US, but Lamin is a Gambian as well. He was based in the US. I think some of us will know him in the media, sorry, in the entertainment arena. He's a musician. I will not say he was a musician, but he's still a musician, known as Egalitarian. By then, in 2004, he was with the philosophers. If you could all remember, my voice is not good at singing, but sufferation out in the yard. Hey, hey, hey. You could all remember that, you know? So he did a lot of records when it comes to the entertainment. He travels with the URA, which was an African collaborations artist from different countries. He travels with them globally. He performed in different international concerts, both locally. He won awards. So I would say that he's an artist with legacy. Just briefly to say few things about him, but he did a lot. And the next, he's also a local rep, Mr. Abdullah Essom. He's the local rep for the Continental Africa here in the Gambia. Because as far as it is a registered US company, there are different partners working with the Continental Africa. So we also have our local reps that are based here in the Gambia. Then we have my main boss, Mr. David Jack. He's the CEO of Real Time Investment. David is also known in the Gambian investment business sector. He has been doing so much of things, not only business, but in other development areas. So, Mr. Yang, Mr. Sonko, and the main president of the continental Africa, you are highly welcome. So briefly, before we go further, I will also give a short compliment. I will not hesitate to welcome Mrs. Ba, also, who is the first lady to Mr. Ba, Mr. Lami. Big Ba is also in the building. So we also have a rep from the GDC and also other guests as well. They are inside the building. So we have a representative from the GDC assigned by presidential candidate Mama Kande. We were also expecting other people as well from different sectors of life, not only politicians, just to highlight it, to give it more or less weight. That we have already invited so many people, different stakeholders, to be part of this press conference. Because what we say is bigger than Gambia, this is bigger than Gambia. This is why we try to invite all of them. So I know my fellow journalists are in this conference. So inviting the GDC doesn't mean that we are the high table here, we are GDC. We invited APRC, we invited SFR, we invited all these parties just to witness this wonderful occasion. So to make it clear, I think it's only GDC that appeals. The others, they have already taken their excuses. It depends on what the reasons, where they want to just. But to make it clear that we only have GDC at the building, but all the parties were invited. Yeah. So I have to make it clear for those sending the messages, especially my colleagues in the media. And Ahmed Tijan is going to be the one to help us for the project, because we have few things that we want to project. And just to put a highlight of what we are going to talk about today is the topic of discussion will be ways to create job opportunities, develop and address the rate of youth unemployment, and talk about issues delaying the Moringa biodiesel-intensive farming project, which is the PPP project. And this is what we are expecting to deliver today, as far as Gambia is concerned. As far as Gambia is in a state of trauma, that so many things is needed. Youths are frustrated. Everyone is going to back way. Even if you see people now working in the offices, now they are going to back way. So all these things, we know that, as we always say, Gambia is in a state of trauma. So such opportunities, when we grab it, I think we have to capitalize. Comparing ourselves to other neighboring countries like Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, such opportunities, when they have it, they never let it go. So this is one of the main reasons. This is why we call the media houses, to make sure that the right messages is sent to the Gambian people, that such opportunities, we cannot let it go. I repeat myself, we cannot let it go. So Mr. Ahmed Tijan will give us a project will help us with some technical issues. So before we go further, Ahmed Tijan, how long? 3 minutes. So just to give a brief explanation about the continental Africa, as I said earlier, that is a registered US-based company in Delaware. Will focus on the sustainability and development of green resources to address problems of food security, global poverty, energy scarcity, and global warming. Continental solutions are environmentally beneficial, socially responsible, and economically sustainable. So these are some of the targets and the profile of the company, where the company is heading. I repeat, Gambia is a very sad country, as we are the only country now that is living behind, looking at our GDP at the moment. If you could see Senegal, GDP is almost globally in every sector in West Africa, but GDP is not in Senegal. According to sources, and everyone knows that Senegalese people, they will not allow any company to come into their country with benefits and they let you go. The first thing that they will look at, the interest of the Senegalese people. And they will even have to bring some conditions. They will condition you, give you areas whereby if their citizens will benefit. They can even say money. suñ salary yi dafa nekk 20,000 every month wala lii du dem dañ laa wax ne la Sénégalais fukki Sénégalais gën a jël benn Nigerian rek moo faa liggéey. So this is why GT Bank do not have any branch. Sorry to mention, I'm not taking it to GT Bank. I'm just giving an example of how the Senegalese people appreciate such opportunities when it comes to their country. The same thing applies to Guinea-Bissau. So for the Gambia, I would say that, as we always say, this is the one last card arrest for the Gambians to benefit from such opportunity. An opportunity that will create 90,000 youth employment, an opportunity that will make so many youths will not join the illegal migration known as the Babel. An opportunity that will make it will even bring development. It will help us also to export. It will help us also even to use the materials that we are producing for our own local people. So if all those opportunities should be let go, I think definitely Gambia is nowhere to be seen in the African map. Just look at, we are the smallest country in Africa. I have traveled different countries in Africa. But looking at the development in other countries, and the Gambia today, the way of always the new name just done. Gambia should be a country whereby, even to visit this country, you should apply for a visa. Because looking at Gambia and Mauritius is very closer to Madagascar. I've been there for 6 months. But Mauritius is less than 2 million people. And the economic resources of Mauritius, they only relies on fishing and packing. During Jawara's time, everyone knows that Gambia was having one of the best cotton farm in the entire Africa. Looking at the ground-up operations, to mention few. So it's a country whereby we should not even travel to America. It's a country whereby we don't even need Queen Elizabeth. We don't even need to highlight this to make it very clear. Gambia, this is our opportunity. I am sending all these messages for all the Gambian people that the opportunity has arisen on our eyes. It is easier, they have given us the access. There are just few things that are lacking. There are just few people that are keeping the key away. And we want to know of this opportunity to make sure that it is open for the vulnerable ones. For the ones that do not never secure a job in their entire life. You see Gambians born from the age of 1 to the age of 50. You see the person will never secure any job. Lurut nakala. Boy, just was a job. So such things we should walk it away. Such things we should drive it away. And give ourselves the opportunity. This is not about politics. This is not about APRC. It's not about Mawakande. It's not about UDP. It's not about Baro. We are not representing any party. We are representing the entire Gambia from Banjul to Paya. Just to make it very clear, this is not about politics, because we are in the era of politics. So we are not saying here to post any political party to give them more weight or any political points. We are doing this for the Gambia. Everyone who knows me knows that I'm not a politician, and I don't support even such activities that doesn't, bring development or interest to the entire nation. So we're talking about we are Gambians. I'm a teacher. Are you know? Not yet. So we allow Mr. Lamin, commonly known as Egalitarian. He's the president of the Continental Africa. This is LLC. As I earlier said, it's a registered company based in the US. Lamin now is based in the US. He's residing in the US. But now, since he came back, it's almost 3 years. 3 years now he's in the Gambia. Although he still has the access to go top and front. But due to this important project, which cost millions of dollars for the interest of the Gambians, he decided to fly his family back to the Gambia to see that the Gambian people will benefit from this project, and himself, his family, his friends, his neighbors, and the entire Gambia will benefit from this project. So we will allow Lamin Ba, who is the president of this company, and also has partners in the US. We'll explain the good side of the story. We'll explain the rotten side of the story. Because the story has a good side, it has a rotten side. So Lamin will explain more. He will be in the best position to speak on behalf of the company. Mr. Bak, you are welcome. The media is here. The Gambians are listening to you. You are in the better position to do just a brief presentation about the continental Africa, the project that you have for the Gambia. You are welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for coming today. It's really an important day for Gambia. Once again, greetings to iTable and to you, my brothers and sisters out there. Again, I just want to clarify one thing, what you said. I just want to confirm that. We are not representing any political party. This is not a political project. This project is called Moringa Biofuel Project. It has the capacity of 90,000 cross employment. We came in, as you can see behind, we have introduced this project to the current government. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the President for accepting the idea, for welcoming the idea of having this project in the Gambia. So we are working with the community of Kiang Karantaba. Karantaba is where this project is going to be. So we are saying, if you employ 90,000 plus Gambians, you don't expect them to travel far to the center. So what is needed was to create a community. So that community is, we are setting up 20,000 homes for these employees. So we have done our part as a company. We have followed the due process, what it takes for a company to be recommended in the Gambia or to have a contract with the Gambia government. We passed through that process. This project came through GAIPA. We met relevant authorities. We sent this to the PPP department because it's a PPP project. The PPP have reviewed this project and advised the minister to go ahead on this project. And back in 2018, my company received an invitation from the Ministry of Finance to come in and implement this project. We came in, we had a meeting with the ministers, with the permanent secretaries, and the date was set for the signing. And we all agreed, discussed on the drawdown, how much will come first and second and 5 phases. We don't know that. This project is $325 million project. The first drawdown would have been of $50 million when the equipments are bought, right in the Gambia we do another drawdown. This was agreed and a date was set for signing. A date follows on Wednesday 2018. We are still waiting for that date to arrive. So we feel the need for Gambia to know what's really going on because we are very concerned and we find it very important to do this project in the Gambia. Not only, as he said, to cut down the migration, but also to empower the youth, empower the Gambia. Because if you look at the sub-region, none of this project exists. So we have, the financing is not an issue. I told my meeting with His Excellency and the then Ambassador, the then Secretary General, Ambassador Fadera, I made it clear to them, if this project is of interest to Gambia, provide us the necessary documents to do this project. If need be, I should be put in mile 2. If the project doesn't go live, then I stay in mile 2 as a human collateral. This is how important I feel this project is, and for Gambia as well. So today we are here to ask questions. We are not condemning, we are not pushing for war. All we are saying is what is taking this project so long for approval. So this is where we are. We have my brothers are here, Mr. David Jeng, who's a very he's the CEO, owner of this consultant and real-time investment CEO. He's been advising, we've all been pushing for this project to come to life, but still it's a delay, and we are expecting, we want to take this opportunity and ask the Minister of Finance, what is the problem? Why is it taking so long for this project to go live? Because after all, the PPP department have advised the minister to go ahead that this project is viable for Gambia. So why it's taking too long? Because it's not. I find it very unfair to be invited and move back to my family, and then till today we are waiting for this project to go live. The investors, as we speak, are ready to invest 325 million. In 90 days, if everything goes well, in 90 days we'll have the funding, and we want to start employing Gambians. So this is where we are. I'm not too experienced in press conferences, but this is a concern that we have, and we want it to reach the Gambian people and to ask current administration the question which are, why is it taking too long for this project to go live? And after welcoming this idea, we want to know the reason behind it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As Mr. Lamin, as he briefly said, Ahmed Tijan, is everything set so that we can go through the, okay? So we can just have a look of the project, how the project will look, and Lamin will explain that.
Okay, Moringa processing plant, renewable energy generation. This Moringa project will have its own power plant. We'll have a processing plant because Moringa, we are going to be processing the Moringa seed to biofuel. We have clients who are ready to buy, and we will be supplying the community. We will supply the community power, and then it also has aquaponic fish farming. Aquaponic fish farming is that now in the West people are turning into eating organic food. So if you see the way it's designed, we put the vegetables above and below there's water where the fish will live and eat the seeds or the roots of the vegetables, and then whatever the fish grow out, it's what germinating the vegetable that we grow. So this is a very good. The market is in Europe and in America. So we have all the clients who are ready to do this business with us. Okay, when it comes to Moringa plantation, from each Moringa to another Moringa is 10 meters. In between, we will do intercropping. We will be intercropping some of the vegetables that we are exporting or importing to the Gambia. So this is what it says intercropping, because we feel the need. Why should we be importing onions? Why should we import carrots? Why should we import some of the vegetables that we import outside? And the land is here. We've already made a deal with the buyers who are ready to go into business with us. Okay, this housing is, like I said, we will set up a community for the employees, because we are not expecting employees to travel from Congo to Kiankarantaba. Therefore, we set up a community, hospitals, we will set up shopping centers, low income, high end, and apartments. So every employee will be given the opportunity to own a house or to own an apartment, depending on what the choice may be. So the key issues, this is where we are. We've already allocated the land for the project, which is at Kiankarantaba. We've already also got a comfort letter from the Ministry of Agriculture, the then Ministry of Agriculture, Rupo Jalo. And also, we've also have a full project plan ready to execute the project. We've also, what is the next one again, Jan? Yes. Let's go back again, please. I think I'll rather go. This is where the land, it is us with our engineers, scientists to survey the land, to see the viability of the land. and it's been approved by our scientists. So it is a Kian Karantaba, it's a huge land and ready for the project. These are my partners, my investors who are willing and ready to invest in this project, $325 million. This is where all the projects started. Because as Ifa rightly said, I am a musician, non-egalitarian. I used my music, all my connection came through music. Because back in the USA, I'm involved in community development projects. So using my music gave me the connection to meet and know a lot of investors, a lot of businessmen, senators, governors, state representatives in the United States. So I used this opportunity to organize press conferences, investment forums, to invite Gambia delegation, to invite Gambia businessmen, to take opportunity and create the opportunity for Gambia. So this is where it all started. This is me and the current Minister of Defense, the then protocols of Piamente, introducing the idea of creating investment bridge between Gambia and USA. These are my investors, their certificate. We just want to be sure, we want to let everybody know that we are dealing with a US company who are very serious and they are making $2.5 million each day in the United States. They are in their line of business. They build houses, they're in South Africa, they're in China right now, they're in China, they're investing in China, it's them with the Chinese. So this is how powerful this company is. So I see no reason why they should not invest in the Gambia. They're into housing. This is them in South Africa. Again, like I said, they're investing, they have the idea, they have the knowledge of African way of doing business. They're in South Africa. So these are my investors. This is the company Stalwart Green Global. You can all Google them and find out about what they do, how serious they are. If not, we will find out. We'll know. Okay. More about them, where they operate, and all that. So I'd like to come back to this is the community in Karantaba. This is me introducing the project to the president. And again, I met with the president a couple of times, but I've not yet getting any the answer I really want for my project. So this is where we are. Again, it's me with the president, presenting the Moringa biofuel to him and other projects. This is continental Africa. This is who we are, and we are ready and willing to do this project. The reason why we are driving this project ourselves because we feel the need that we understand one another. We know the culture. We know what is needed for the project for the investor and the community to come together. Because we have seen some of the projects that are in the Gambia, we have seen a lot of complaints from the communities where the projects are, is because of there is no right connection between the investor and the community. Therefore, to avoid making those mistakes as well, we are driving, as Gambia, we are driving this project through the community, dealing with the community directly. Okay, these are my investors, these are scientists, Mr. Flexi, and Adrian. They are all investors who are focused in Moringa transformation. All right, this is my press conference in Delaware, where we discussed this Moringa biofuel and came up with the investment for this Moringa biofuel. This is at the Wilmington Mayor's Hall. We've invited here also a couple of Gambian dignitaries. The then ambassador of Gambia to USA was here, represented by Pierre Minte, and some of the investors. We are discussing about agriculture and the way forward for Gambia. That's me there with my afro. So, okay, this is the structure on how we think we should program this joint venture. This is the starting, this is at the Wilmington Mayor's Office. The Mayor's Office liaison giving approval to Gambia, given the city key to Gambia ambassador, saying that it is welcome for Gambia to do business with Wilmington, Delaware. Delaware is where Joe Biden is from. There are a lot of opportunities Gambia can create can get from this this state if we know how to tap them. Right. Okay, you all understand these are some of the Gambian businessmen that we invited also who came in presence of the press conference. This is where we are, the current CDS, and we discuss about Gambia. So I think that's all for now. And Mr. Kivan. Thank you very much for reminding me. After we've came with two projects. One project was waste to energy. We've signed the PPA because in every country or in the Gambia, before any company, outside company will go into contract with government, will have to pass through a process. So we were asked to pass through the process, and we've done the process, and we were qualified to sign the contract with the government. The Western Energy Project, every investor has a requirement. We ask 5 things from government. 1 is the land for the project. 2 is the PPA, power purchase agreement. 3 is the concessional agreement, because all the councils are under the Ministry of Lands. The 4th is the operational agreement. Operational agreement allows us to collect the maximum waste that we need for the power plant, because we signed a 20 megawatt PPA agreement. And the second is a comfort letter from the Office of the President. After agreeing to all these terms and conditions, we've signed. The government has given us the PPA. They are giving us the concessional agreement from the then Minister of Lands. They're giving us the comfort letter from the Office of the President. But till today, 3 years today again, they refuse to give us the land for the project and the operational agreement with the council. We follow up. We have evidence to show that we have followed up with council. We have followed up with government. It's been moved. It has not gone anywhere. Therefore, we've said, okay, if some investees are there to do the waste to energy, then we will set aside the waste to energy and focus on the Moringa biofuel. Because for me, my project is the Moringa biofuel. The reason why, because in Europe, I receive a lot of calls, people who need help in Europe because they migrated to the pathway. And the way to stop that is by creating opportunity for Gambia. And the Moringa biofuel, I feel, is the right project that will help the Gambian community, that will help the Gambian youth. So, for my assurance, I have told the president, and again I'm telling you, that if they have issues with my partners or in trusting whether we can deliver, again, I am ready to be put at mile 2. Only thing I need is my internet to speak to my investors. If the project does not go live, then I remain in mile 2. I've said this to him, and again I'm saying it out here. This way we all understand how important this project is to me and to the team and to the Gambia. And because if this opportunity is given, the Gambia GDP will go plus. Because the revenue returns each year is $203 million. Even if we took loan in 2 years, the project is paid off. So I don't see a reason why this project should be left behind or should be dragged down. I don't see the reason. So today the point of this press conference is to ask questions. Why is this project delayed? Why are they not thinking about this project? Because, we feel very disturbed that it's dragging this way, and I believe with your powers, with your tools, we can really push this project to a successful one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Egalitarian. It is almost the end of this press conference, but we will also allow our media partners, as far as they are very important, for them to ask questions and issues that they want to know. So I think Lamin is also available for him to answer the questions that you guys want.
So, when I bring the mic over,
Oh, I didn't.
I know with the government because you say we have already been the president. We have discussed with you. And also the stakeholders, like the ministers that should contribute in making sure that your project comes to realities. I want to know where exactly are you? Is it in the process of giving land or land or anything?
it's in the position of giving security for the project. The land is not the problem. Security for the investment. Every investor that comes to a country needs security. We need government to give us the security. And whatever security they're actually requesting 40% of the total investment. And this project, again, the beauty of this project is that this project will be converted to project equity, meaning the investors will now then become a shareholder in the project, in the business. We are not paying back any dime. It's not, at first it is structured as a loan. The reason why it is structured as a loan is for security reasons. Because they don't want someone, an influential person who is not part of the project to come in and destroy the project. If government allows that to happen, then government will pay back whatever they invested. But if government allow the project to be implemented, then it will be written off as project equity, meaning no payment, but then investors will now become a business shareholder. It's sort of a grant. So this is where we are. We are waiting for that security instrument to be ready for this project. It's taking us 3 years. $325 million.
$325 million.
Yes.
The 40% that and you said it's structured as a loan, and then you're expecting a 40%.
Yes.
So that's 40% of 350,
Yes.
325.
As a security, yes.
And what will happen? Does the Gambia government have to pay that to your company, or how does that work?
No, they put that as a time guarantee.
Okay.
To say that if we do our investment, something goes wrong, then you pay us. We'll take that 40%. But if the government allows the project to be implemented, it's only a black and white. We are called here. If the government allows the project to go live, then it will be right off as project equity. Then it will be returned back with no interest. Yes.
So the issue now is that the Gambia government has to come up with 40% of 325 million US dollars.
Yes.
And set it aside for this project to go ahead.
Exactly. Yes.
That sounds very unlikely, considering the plans that the Gambia government has.
Okay.
Just, yeah.
Thank you very much. I am Kevin Absumane for the Voice newspaper. This is, I want to ask this question.
Yes, please.
You have indicated that you have moved to the Gambia with your family.
Yes.
In view of the fact that the project will kickstart
Yes.
as expected.
Yes.
But unfortunately, this has delayed according to your statements here. So I would like to know, how does this affect you, your investors, and your families? That still now, the government is not willing to give you the green light. I'd like to know how it's going.
Seriously, I'm affected. We are affected as a family because my kids were all in the US going to school. So coming back here is a trauma for all of them, but it is home. But then, because of the commitment we have for this project, we are not losing hope. We will keep fighting. Because the reason why we also decided to move back with our family is simply because the government already knew what we needed to do this project. And they reviewed it and approved and giving us an invitation to come and do this project. So they knew what it takes to do this project. So if the approval was negative, why then inviting us? So for me, this is the question. If you are not ready and willing to do this project, why then inviting us to come? I have all the invitations here. So what affecting us, yes, we've been seriously affected. Thank you.
Okay, very good, everyone. My name is Maya Madani from Gambia Talent Studio. I have a question with regards to the project because you talked about creating employment for the people. And in the Gambia, we know that most of the youth are unemployed. So is this a project meant to make employment easy for the youth of the Gambia?
This is the again.
Talking about the employment.
Yes, this is
Yes, because the project is meant to create employment for the Gambian people.
Right.
So do you have, are you targeting the youths of the Gambia?
100% yes.
And also you talked about having your land at Kiam Karangam.
Yes.
So I want to ask why here? Because we have 7 areas in the Gambia, so why did you focus on that?
For us, Kiam is a strategic location because of the riverside. So if you are doing a depot at Bara, we need to use the river to transport Moringa seed, or be the railway from Bara to Kiankaranga. And secondly, that the land, the needed is available at Kiankaranga. And we have a better understanding with the community of Kiankaranga. I'm not saying we don't have orders, but Kian is where we find first and we come to understand.
Yeah, I have one or two questions. I want to know what is your level of engagement with the Minister of Science? That's the first question.
My level of engagement
With the Minister for Science.
I've met with him a couple of times. It's for me. You understand? So he told me he doesn't understand that. Like, then why am I invited if you don't understand the law? What does it mean? You understand? So they know, but then I was offered a comfort letter. I told him, sir, no investor with this amount, no one will invest this amount based on a comfort letter.
What was the demand on that comfort letter, please? What was the demand on that comfort letter, please?
And the comfort letter simply says that we, the ministry, are aware and we are giving you okay to invest your money. So,
Excuse me, you have met with the president and you have briefed him. And the minister is under the president. Did you make any effort to see the president to explain the level of where you are?
like I said, I've met with the president a couple of times. My last meeting with him was in January. We discussed this project. He always referred me to his technician and engineers. So this is where I feel frustrated. If it's a project that is very important to him, he will just decide if he wants it.
So if everything goes down, then what will be next, please?
If everything go down,
Like things are not moving. If you are paying the Gambia for 3 years.
yes.
So what is your status now and what you decide to do next? Thank you.
We still want to fight for this project to come live. And we'll do whatever it takes to get it because it's an opportunity we don't want to lose.
Thank you very much. I'll pass it on. Thank you very much. My question is regarding the 20,000 homes.
20,000 homes.
20,000 homes.
Yes.
It's a grand scheme. You spoke about hospitals, the facilities that would be there.
Yes.
Tell us more about it. But most importantly, how would those people working? Because I understood that there is a minimum wage that you are going to pay.
Yes.
The people working on this road.
Yes.
How would they be able to secure their, because, elaborate a little bit, what facilities will be available, and then how will they be able to get that, to get up the home, because you're going to have to build a home,
Right.
and that's going to cost you a lot of money
Right.
up front.
That's $50 million to build those communities.
Okay, so it's a $50 million project to build a
Yeah, it's part of the $325 million.
Okay, maybe you can talk us through how would they be able to access it as well, because
Once this project goes live, any employee or any applicant we approve automatically owns a house. This is what we designed. Like I said, it's a project that is driven by us. We want to make sure our people, our Gambians, are happy with the offer they are getting. So the minimum salary again is $10,000. So based on that, we'll do a mortgage for it. We'll set up a mortgage for you, a very friendly mortgage for you. So this is how we design the project, because we want to make sure, again, to avoid the long journey. Own it.
Because just to clarify, the only thing is 90,000 jobs.
Yes.
That's 90,000 people.
Exactly.
Probably 90,000 families.
Exactly.
20,000 homes.
Right.
So, if you see where I'm coming from,
Now understand
most
what
likely it will be those at the top of that 90,000 jobs who will be able to afford those 20,000 homes.
Our target is those working on the farm or at the farm, not the admin side. The administration is not our concern. Our concern is those that are working on the farm, making sure that they will get to the farm quick as possible. The 20,000, as the project goes on, can be expanded. But depending, we just put these numbers, this way we are according to our budget. Because living in Serikunda, traveling to Kiankarantaba is going to cost a lot of money. So why not set up a community that will save the employee the transport there, exactly, from traveling from long distance. I hope I'm clear with you. If I'm not, please let me know.
All right, Mustafa, going over the presentation, it makes big sense. But I will also tell you, it is very unlikely that the government, approve this. Now, in the situation that the government doesn't approve this project, does the CA, the Continental Africa Project, have a system or a mechanism in place to make sure the project doesn't collapse?
We are trying, like I said, we've got a lot of offers. Without the security, is always going to be difficult for this project to go live. You understand? So when I say a lot of offers, there are a lot of countries that want this project to go live. They are willing and ready to issue the same conditions. But the reason why we don't want to go to those countries, because I'm a Gambian and I'm a concerned Gambian. I lost a nephew traveling to Europe, trying to travel to Europe. Someone else. You may know, if not you, but you might know someone who lost someone. So we want to avoid that. Why taking project outside of Gambia? My question is just that, if the Gambian government knew they wouldn't do this project, why then invite us? Because this is all we presented. They needed a waiver, we've created a waiver, so that the investment is not going to be made. You see, they need everything, the facility, the funding, the term sheet, it's all outlined there. It's going to be structured this way. But then, if you knew you wouldn't be in the position in doing this project, why then invite us to come? You understand? So we had some few documents that are already approved, but it's still pending. So the question is, what is dragging it? My problem is Minister of Finance. This is where my problem is, and I want the Gambian people to know this is where my problem is. I don't have issues with Maro, because he has given his approval. But then, if he relies on his technician, if the technician are also not advising him wisely, it's a problem for us. How many projects came to Gambia? How many succeeded? Yes, no one will invest $325 million based on a comfort level. We must have some security put in place for the project to go live. But again, the beauty of this project is that you are not paying back any time. We are not asking you to pay. Just give us a slip, because it meets the humanitarian. It has the humanitarian standard, so it can be converted to grant or to project equity. So what is the worry? Again, if there's anything that's going wrong, I told you, I'm a human corruption. I'm ready to be at my for this project to go live. It is very serious. It is only us, only we can change this country. Nobody will do that for us. Whoever comes, they have their interest taking it out. So we structured this company, we structured this project. No, it's not the investors' project, it is our project. Because we came up with this project, we came up with this idea, and find an investor to invest. Why? Because we care so much for our nation.
Thank you very much. My name is Laura Bale from the Daily Newspaper. I look at the project. This is a project that will transform this country and will move the country to the next level. Before the coming of President Adam Barrow into office, the statistic was unemployment that was 31%. Now it is 41%, according to the statistic that they published. This is a project that has the capacity to create employment opportunities for 90,000 Gambian youths, which will obviously reduce the rate of poverty in this country. The ministry that concerns you more is the finance ministry, and you ask question why it is there. In your own perspective, why do you think he is giving this thing late? Do you think that he has an interest that he wants you to do favor? Because corruption is the order of the day. You will see people in concern. Do you think that they are putting the interest of the Gambian people before, or they are putting their personal interest? No. And my second question is, we are just approaching the election. Why do you invite political parties to take part in this?
Okay, first of all, when it comes to corruption, we all know there's corruption. Understand? So, for the Ministry of Finance, anyway, there are a lot of things that, of course, he has never approached me, he has never asked me to give him anything. Understand? But then the interest of the people is not, when it comes to my project, the interest of the people is not first. Their interest first. This is where I want to start. But when it comes to why inviting different political parties, because again, they're Gambians and they're looking forward up to getting a position. We want them to be in the picture. We want this to be in the picture. We want them to have the picture of this project. Maybe they are also influential. They know the system, they conduct the system. We are doing this because we need help. Not helping egalitarian, because I have a house, I have a car, I was working in the US, my life is okay in the US. The help is not for egalitarian or more than impact. The help is for those walking on the street, struggling, looking for help. This is why we invite all of them to come and see maybe they can be one way or another influential to talk to the system. Tell them, hey, this is a project, let's forget about our political differences. Well, let's push for this project, because this project will help our nation, it will help our youth. This is the reason why we invited them. I hope I answered your question. Thank you.
30 million US dollars.
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
Now, my question is, when did the government know that they had to pay this 130 million? Was it before they agreed and you had arrived, or was it after? Because I believe for somebody to say they are coming to put $325 million and invest in your country and do all these wonderful things, certainly I cannot see why anybody would disagree. But certainly for them to now pay 40%, given that the Gambian government has not maybe, in fact, we have limited resources. This is the reason why. Can you just tell me, when did they know that they had to pay this 40%?
Okay, first of all, I have to be very clear here. No one is paying anyone 40%. It's a security. Put aside.
To put that aside, like you said, and they have to show you proof.
Yes, a bank guarantee that says.
So that's what I mean.
Okay.
The Gambian government is not in that position currently, as we can see.
You may say so, but all right, let me come to your second question. Again, this project, we are all presented to the PPP department for review. Again, it's two projects. It used to be 500 million. Waste to energy is 200 million. Plus the waste, the Moringa biofuel project. You understand? They have reviewed both projects and invite us after approval. Because I was at a meeting 2017, early 18, if I'm correct, Panama Beach Hotel, World Bank and IMF with some of the stakeholders in the system. IMF clearly advised government that they should engage private investors because they cannot help the country alone. One of the stakeholders I remember question he asked was, But you're asking us to engage private investors or private sectors. But we know what the requirements are, what they ask. They ask for guarantees. And the World Bank clearly says, we are not saying don't give guarantees to anyone, but give it to someone you know. Give it to Gambia. So every country in Rwanda, they will issue their guarantees because this is how they do to get to where they are.
Just what I'm trying to bring out here is that it would be very unfair for this government, for example, to have agreed with you that they would pay this 40%. You traveled, came back home, set your shop up here, and now they are not going ahead. So this is why I'm asking. I want to find out, did they agree this 40% before you ended up making this commitment which you have done now?
You know, I don't know if it would be advisable to give you the funding facility, but funding facilities, then when we came, they were to issue us sovereign guarantee. The Gambia government was to issue us sovereign guarantee or bank guarantee. So this way it all runs. So we are saying, if you don't want to now, there's an option. You either give us a sovereign guarantee, as you agree, or you either put the security, 40%, just to show us that you are committed. This is what we are requesting. They have seen it before coming, before us coming. They have invited us, have the official invitation, saying, sign the loan to grant. Then they know it, they knew it. It's there, it's in their head. Because the letter clearly states that, come and let's sign the loan to grant. So this is the document that says loan to grant. Whatever it takes to get it done, they know. It's here. We are not making this up. I have no interest. I'm a public figure. I'm respected. So I'm not making this up because of political greed. No. Again, I'm not representing any political party. But this project is of concern to all of us.
Are we come on for the questions? Yeah. And we almost at the edge of the program. Briefly, just to repeat as Mr. Bass said, that we have invited not only the media, but we have invited various politicians because they are part of the Gambia. If it was not even during this political era, we will still invite them as far as they are part of this country. And also, we have invited musicians because we believe that they also have a voice. So this press conference, we are not taking it to any politicians. But also, I would add up to say that thanks to my fellow journalists for asking smart and professional questions. And also thanks for maintaining that professionalism in the line of duty. Because you have all right to ask questions, and he is also here to answer. And all these questions are very, 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 very impressive, and they are very, very important. To make it clear, it is for Gambia. We will, as he said, the company will push to the last stop to make sure that Gambia will benefit from it. I will not go deeply to what I have to say or to make it clear. But if Gambia loses this project, don't be surprised if you see it to our neighboring countries, which they are already interested. Recently, I have spoken with one of the chief protocols, I will mention his name, and also spoken with the tourism minister. And they are aware of this project, and they are very close to the Gambia. And that country, the prime minister of that country, he has already received a message through me about the project. I was even saying, because I was also discouraged, I was also frustrated, I was even telling my guy, if this project is not working for Gambia, as far as we do not want to be there, we do not want to be seen in the map, not geographically, as Gambia is off theirs, it's better, before Africa loses, it's better for other countries not to lose this. Because I'm an African. If Gambia doesn't want it, there are countries, they are neighbors to Gambia, and they are already aware of the project. Through myself, it's better we introduce it to them. I am not speaking
on behalf of his company or on behalf of Mr. Ba that this is from me. And if Gambia is delaying, it's better we take it to another country. For myself, I've been aware how many Gambians that I even know, they are in America. They wanted to invest in sports. They asked nothing to the government, only even, let me say, even land. They only need land. They don't even need money even from the government. I have seen it currently now. Gambians that are requesting for space through the Ministry of Lands for them to invest in sports. Because there are a lot of monies that have been given to the Gambian or to the Gambian government that are available in America, that are even given to the American government. But Gambians are not aware. Go to other countries, they are benefiting from these projects. So if we are losing, we will continue to lose, and Gambia will not be seen in the map, not geographically. It is sad, it is disappointing. I am saying it from myself, that it is sad not from Lamin himself. But I have been receiving calls, even day before yesterday. A Gambian licensed agent, FIFA licensed agent, who wants to invest in this country. He only needs a land, nothing else. He has the budget, he has the support. Just to cut the long story short, the cake is available for us, not only even from Mr. Ba. I am not saying this politically, I am saying in the concern of this country, because everyone knows that I'm a community youth leader, I'm a journalist, I'm not interested in politician, I'm far over family. So this is the end of the press conference, and thanks for everyone for coming. Yes. All right, and it's important that the youth, like more like it, that everybody knows as a vegetarian. In fact, I was going to say UNICEF, I think, if I'm right, have designated you as an ambassador for the youth in Africa, certainly. And these are very good qualities that we must be proud as Gambians. You know, and I just want to say, Progressive Youth Organization of the Gambia, Human Rights, Youth for Human Rights International, I am one of their, members. In fact, I represent the Gambia. And it is important that the information services and also the attention officers. And I was just telling my friend here, I said, this is a very important project. We must not leave it to go, untreated. It is just important that Monica has different facets. And if you know Monica, you know that very well this is a project that we don't have to waste time. And I want to say that you don't only use, you see, let me say it this way. When plan A failed, you go for plan B. And what was your plan A? And that is to discuss with the president and also talk about, pass through other ways and things. But if that is also stopping, there are many ways to kill the rat. And I want you to use those words so that this project does not actually, as we said, it does not die like that. The youth need you. And the youth, of course, are here. If you look at the unemployment rate, it's too high. That is what we find every day. But it's unfortunate that the youths are not listened to. Of course, when any government, and I think I remember, we talked about it when I was interviewed by BBC. Then what I thought was when the government came into force, first, what they did was they made a call, an open call, that all investors come to the Gambia. But when all investors are already here and very potential investors leave and they're Gambians, it is important that you open your arms, welcome them, give them all the opportunities they need. So I want to say that we will start fighting with you to make sure that this works. Thank you very much. So thank you very much.
Bukan waringe si million sa jupae kungangar ama pikreti coronavirus. Coronavirus kwa kaka sumut kanu manje bajuta nyine bajuta nifam bajuta nyine bajuta stek kaka ka sumut kanu manje bukana tuku gore barne baj ke bare sumu yene tere gudi ka sumut kati coronavirus tate ten tembe nyaaji baj pikreti yon konne vaccine yon manje anosan awurna pour mana janga yo bangona tanka fanga fa ka sumut kati covid-19.
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonics Money Transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
Penmore Physiotherapy and Rehabilitation Clinic is the first of its kind in the Gambia. We have inpatient service and outpatient services. Penmore admits patients and they have intensive rehabilitations. That means treatment 3 times a day for 5 days, from Mondays to Friday, and on Fridays they go to their families to spend time with them to have family. Our patients come on regular appointments, probably 2 or 3 times in a week for treatment. We treat patients with arthritis, with back pain, stroke patients, fractures or after fracture operation, paralysis of all types, and we do treat both young and old patients. Penmore Physiotherapy gives quality physiotherapy treatments to Gambians because we are qualified physios from different parts of the world.